they shut down 14 million of my fans. 14 million. I was one of those, oh, whoa, now we got a big problem because they didn't want Trump in there. And they did their best. Yeah, well, yeah. Catastrophic loss.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Rob Dew here with Infowars.com. You are listening to the fourth hour of Overdrive. And I just want to go over a few things before I bring up my guest, who's been a victim of this Facebook censorship that is now going to be hitting everybody in the country who doesn't agree with Cyborg Zuckerberg. And I even want to read some of his statement, which we'll read throughout the hour. And but first, yesterday, bombshell, undercover video, Twitter engineers admit censoring conservatives. And it comes out on the video that they're calling people S-H-I-T-T-Y people. Right there, we're trying to get the S-H-I-T-T-Y people not to show up. It's a product thing we're working on. So that comes out into the news. And then what happens a few hours later? Trump derides protections from immigrants from S-H-I-T whole countries. Right there. And who is it from? Do we have people in the meeting? No. It is according to people familiar with the reactions of the people who were in the meeting. Total BS, but it creates enough cover to stop people from looking at this story. They effectively killed this story. The mainstream media killed this Twitter story by doing this and turned this into Trump is a racist, Trump is bad. Now Trump comes out and denies it. He said the language used by me at the DACA meeting was tough, but it was not the language used. That was not the language used. It was really tough, and it's a big setback. So basically, he's denying it now. But here's an interesting article from Kit Daniels. State Department warns avoid travel to S-H-I-T whole countries. And it's talking about Haiti. It's so bad. It's talking about countries in Africa. Do not travel to the Central African Republic. Probably El Salvador. I don't know if El Salvador's on here, but Norway's not on this list. And, you know, Trump probably had the prime minister of Norway in. They were talking about all kinds of things the last few days. And that's probably why he mentioned Norway. I don't think it had anything to do with being racist. But here's the other things they want to keep you from looking at. Check this out. Oh, 90% of workers are likely to see more money in paycheck next month. The U.S. Treasury and the IRS put out a new guidance withholding tables for employers that incorporate changes of the new tax law. Under those new tables, that's why Trump signed it before Christmas. The Treasury estimates 90% of the people who get a paycheck are likely to see more take-home pay. So employers have till February 15th to incorporate the new changes. So 90% of workers, people out there busting their butts in this economy, are going to see more take-home pay. I know Nancy Pelosi says it's not that much because she's a multimillionaire. She takes your money and spends it on whatever she wants. She sucks you dry and goes, oh, it's a pittance to the people. Watching her make those comments, disgusting. And here's what else they want to hide. Strongest holiday sales since Great Recession, up 5.5%, topping industry's forecast. They thought it'd be about between $678 billion and $682 billion. It was $691.9 billion, nearly $700 billion spent. And that was retailers for the holiday season. And all this, the Twitter story, done by Project Veritas, great job. I can't wait to see what they drop on Monday. Of course, it'll be ignored, or they'll come up with some other fake Trump story. This is going to be great. This is going to come out as fake news again. But yesterday, we had Facebook put out on their newsfeed FYI, bringing people closer together, right? They think it's about sharing opinions with people. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's about killing content providers. That's what it's about. And they put it on this lovely smile face where Zuckerberg walks around and smiles at you and has everybody in virtual reality glasses, and he's smiling because he's not in them, and he just walks around. Yeah, you people are scum. I'm going to dominate you. I'm going to dominate you. Our big focus areas for 2018 is making sure the time we all spend on Facebook is time well spent. We built Facebook to help people stay connected and to bring us closer together with the people that matter to us. That's why we've always put friends and family at the core of the experience. Research shows that strengthening our relationships improves our well-being and happiness. Happiness is a emotion I don't think Mark Zuckerberg has. It's all fake. He really wants to dominate you. And I'm going to go to my next guest. Actually, he's going to be with us for the rest of the hour. Jason Fick. He's a guy who's worked Facebook to make money for himself. And then because he didn't want to play ball and because he started promoting Republican candidates in the last election, he started having his pages taken away. And it's ramping up. He sent me this last night, this news feed, and I read this. I said, this is the death of Facebook. They're basically going to kill themselves with this move. They're going to start censoring hardcore. It's going to be overt. It's going to be everywhere. And it's going to hit everybody. And by doing that, people are going to leave Facebook. So, Jason, what do you make of that analysis after reading what we heard from Comrade Zuckerberg?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on, Rob. Obviously, we've been talking about this for months, you and I. I guess it was, what, 3 or 4 months, like 3 months ago, give or take. And I predicted all of this, every single thing that was coming out. I've been in this for close to, I guess, 7 years now. I watched the rise and fall of it. And obviously, Facebook has changed so dynamically over the years. We've gotten to a point where, you know, at first it was a free-for-all. Anybody could say anything, and it was honestly a lot of fun back in those days. Then what happened is that, and I think that this was what caused the change, is that they realized that the individual voice is very loud, that people talk amongst themselves, especially like conservatives these days. We're talking amongst each other, and we use this as a town square to be able to present ideas to our own, you know, peers and so forth. Well, I think along the way, they realized the strength of that is very scary. They don't want people to be able to talk amongst themselves because we can organize. And as soon as you start to get into a situation where they organize, they realize they had to gain control of that. I know that I'm just sort of giving you the back, like the inside way that this works. When they gain control of essentially what people were talking about, they gain control of how the minds work of the individuals. This is essentially what mainstream media is trying to do, is they're showing you this over here, but they really want you to pay no attention to this over here. It's the bait and switch thing. You guys were just talking about that. But your analysis is right. They are, and I had said this for a number of years, is that they took out all of the good content. They tried to turn themselves into a news network, which, in my opinion, bit them in the ass.
Yeah, backfired.
Literally, had they let it just be memes and funny stuff, nobody would have paid attention. It would have buried all of this stuff. Now what they've done is they have mobilized so many people, and this is the danger. And I'm going to tell you, I can forecast Facebook. It won't ever go away. It won't collapse by what you said. It's not like it's just going to go bankrupt and disappear. That I don't see happening. It's too big. But what I do see happening is people are now getting tired of it. They're going, no, this is, I'm not going to be forced ideas that I don't believe in. And the people at Facebook don't understand that that's what they're doing to their customers.
They're telling people what to think. We're about to go to break. We're about to go to break. This is what's happening right now. They are trying to guide it, and they tried it in this election with Hillary Clinton, and it didn't work. And now they're going, well, we're going to ban everybody from talking. We're not going to let anybody talk unless it's about their stupid cat. We'll be right back with Jason Fick, a social media entrepreneur insider who is basically trying to warn people about what's been happening with Facebook. And it's coming. It's coming down the pike. But I love it. I think it's great.
It's the claim that the August protest was some sort of left-wing plot. Who, you might ask, would say something so offensive? An elected representative who's serving right now in the U.S. Congress.
And look at the background. George Soros is one of those people that actually helps, back these individuals. Who is he?
My understanding is that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted godson.
Yes.
Went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from the Jews.
That's right. Yes.
Was it difficult?
Not at all.
Do you think George Soros funded the neo-Nazis who marched in Charlottesville?
Wouldn't it be interesting to find out?
These conspiracy theories were first spread by radio talk show host Alex Jones.
Is this lost on anyone? George Soros is a famous Nazi collaborator.
From the front lines of the information war, It's Alex Jones.
We are live here at the 4th hour. And look, this Facebook censorship is nothing new, all right? But they have literally written their own obituary, and I'm going to get to that. But here, back in 2011, one of our own reporters here, Darren McBreen, was sent an email by the Facebook team not to post his political viewpoint. So back in 2011, they didn't want you talking about politics. And here's what part of the email said. Be careful making political statements on Facebook, McBreen was told in the email. Facebook is about building relationships, not a platform for your political viewpoint. Unless you're a scum-sucking liberal socialist, then, hey, say whatever you want. Don't antagonize your base. Be careful and cognizant, which they spelled wrong, of what you are preaching. And then we have, a few years later, Facebook CEO caught discussing the censorship of anti-migrant posts at United Nations Development Summit Saturday while speaking with German Chancellor Angela Merkel. She's like, you must make them stop talking about the migrants. And he says, we're going to do some work on that. We're going to work on it. Okay, the hot mic caught him. Okay, we have him working with China, censoring people. And then here's his obituary right here. He wrote his own obituary. A lot of people do that. A lot of famous people like to write their own obituaries. Well, here it is right here. And here at the bottom, I will read it in Mark Zuckerberg voice. Now, I want to be clear. By making these changes, I expect the time people spend on Facebook and by some measures of engagement will go down. But I expect the time you do spend on Facebook will be more valuable. And if we do the right thing, I believe that it will be good for our community and our businesses in the long term, too. Okay? Basically what he's doing, he's going to kill the news feeds. Something that they touted. Oh, hey, we're going to be bringing you news. We're going to be bringing you news. There he is right there, Cyborg Zuckerberg. And then we have this. Hacked emails show Eric Schmidt played crucial role in Team Hillary's election. So you got Google and Facebook basically teaming up against the entire American populace to put Hillary Clinton in the presidency, and they failed. And why did they fail? They failed because you out there, people out there spread videos. People out there went to protests. People out there took their phones, hopefully horizontally, and shot video. And people did it over and over again, and we didn't stop, okay? And Donald Trump's not perfect. He's going to do some things we don't like. But he's a leagues better than Hillary Clinton and what she would be doing right now. We would never be under the out from over the globalist thumb if we had Hillary Clinton. Jason, your comments on what I just said. I also want you to talk about how they started hitting you in 2012. And then...
Yeah, I was actually about to do that.
Yeah, it just... They've been attacking you for a while, so you're used to this. This is nothing new to you. But for the rest of the people out there, it's all about to end. If you have any sort of income coming from Facebook, it's all about to go away if you're a content creator. Go ahead, Jason.
Here is the biggest mistake, okay? So 2012, right? We'll rewind. You said 2011, don't go over your political views. 2012, I had a page that was specifically, it was anti-Obama. I didn't want him in there, right? So on the eve of the election, 1 million fans gets deleted. Coincidence? No, I don't think so.
Payback.
Now, they shut my opinion up.
Exactly.
That's what they did. And the funny thing is that, I had an opinion back then, but I shut up because I couldn't afford to lose my income stream. So I got out of politics entirely, and I went down the meme road, and just entertaining people. Then they decided that the meme road wasn't, sufficient. We don't like that either. So let's make it a news network. And then the news network managed to actually put Trump into office because they screwed up on actually how big a wave that they would get out of the conservative views. Trump gets into office and they go, man, nothing's worked. Let's just shut Facebook off. That's basically what he just said.
Yeah.
We're going to shut it off. Well, nobody's going to keep coming there if there's nothing to see. And think of it in this analogy, right? And this is the easiest way to understand this. Think of it like your favorite TV, channel, the whole channel, right? The channel has shows on it. The shows are interesting. Do you go on it to watch the commercials?
No, nobody does.
Right? Nobody. Now, if you take away all of the popular shows, which they actually do on most channels, it's amazing. Like Boston Legal, it was a top-grossing show, but it was the wrong demographic. So they killed it, and it was an amazing show. If you start killing shows, eventually you have too many commercials. Well, my feed is almost every other thing is a sponsored something. Video, ad, whatever. Now, I don't care how effective your search criteria is and how much you know that I like this or I like that. It doesn't matter. I don't want to see buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, and I can't see anything else. I literally refresh my feed and I see the same things I already saw just then. So the same videos that I was already shared, I'm seeing them again. Then I'm seeing videos of stuff I don't even want to see. I see stuff I'm even blocked on. Now, that was 2012. They shut 1 million fans down. It was kind of one of those, wow, I just got beaten up by them. But nobody cared because Obama made office and none of the news networks cared. So I sort of went forward. The whole nation didn't know. And this is legitimately what the turn of the social media tide is exactly what I'm about to explain to you. Nobody knew because nobody understood social media. They don't understood the power of it. They don't understand what an individual voice is. Well, the social media company, Facebook and Twitter and so forth, they caught on quicker than obviously the rest of the people because it's their job. They started stifling people's voice as it grew and it got bigger and bigger over the years. And, I didn't want to be the one that went out there and said, there's a couple of revelations, obviously you and I have talked. There's some things that I've done that are monumental and nobody even knows because I didn't want to be the figurehead because I knew that they would just take me down. So ultimately, this voice that we created, they kept like crushing it down, and then they had algorithms that actually catch words. And then if you use the wrong words, now they originally built that because people were saying like and share this. So if it said like, share, and comment, it pretty much crushed your reach instantly. There are so many things that you just can't do that they just decided. Well, fast forward, 2016 rolls along. Sure enough, they shut down 14 million of my fans. 14 million. I was one of those, now we got a big problem because they didn't want Trump in there. And they did their best. Yeah. Catastrophic loss.
Yeah, we're showing some of your feed right now, how it just drops off to nothing.
Now they would tell you, and this, like he said, they put this nice smile and they put the felt glove over the hammer
as they're hitting you in the face.
Yeah, and they say to you, oh, nobody really wants to see your stuff. Well, I was on the rise there, and then there's this catastrophic loss. Where did it go? It was simple as this: they don't want people to see what they actually want to see. They don't want you to see it.
No.
So the thing is that they've now, what the problem is, and it's kind of like critical mass. They have hit a point where guys like me that were in the industry, we knew this 5 years ago. We knew it was coming. And like I had to talk to you about, I started to back out of the whole Facebook game because, and the social media game, that game is dead. And when that dies, when people cannot survive on there and the content there isn't enough content for everybody to be able to see, you will have all commercials. And when you have all commercials, guess what happens?
People leave. Yeah.
Exactly.
People leave. People stop going to it. And so it's a self-implosion. They're self-immolating right now, which I kind of celebrate. I'm glad Facebook is going to die because, hey, they even admit spending too much time on there is bad for you. Facebook does that. They have social scientists and sociologists literally trying to figure out how to make you depressed and hate yourself. So we'll be right back with our final segment of the 4th hour of Overdrive. Thanks for watching. Infowars.com/show is the live stream you need to send out to everybody you know, and do it. Don't wait for Facebook to do it.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Support this network, and not only support us, but trigger the verified libtards on Twitter. They had an absolute meltdown a few days ago. They found an ad that I had cut for Brain Force, which, by the way, you should also get at InfoWarsStore.com. Always use the opportunity to promote it even more. They had a meltdown over an ad that I cut in April, and they found it like it was some secret, and they were like, oh my God, this is the funniest thing ever. So they literally had an autistic screeching fit over an ad of me promoting Brain Force, which is a nootropic which like literally half the people in Silicon Valley take, which everybody has their different brand of. Oh, but when InfoWars does it, it's bad and it's funny somehow. If that's the best they've got, we advertise products that got 5-star independent reviews that you see right there on InfoWarsStore.com. BrainForce Plus. They had an absolute meltdown. It was hilarious. They wrote Vice.com. Listen, if this is the best they've got against yours truly, I advertised BrainForce 6 months ago. Everybody in Silicon Valley takes some kind of nootropic. This isn't like some hokey snake oil. I mean, Joe Rogan built his entire podcast on selling his version of the exact same product. You're gonna go after Joe Rogan too? Absolutely incredible that they had all these massive hissy fits over me making an ad for BrainForce. Well, here I'm making another one right now. Gonna get triggered over this? Good. We'll sell even more bottles of it. You're literally making InfoWars and me money with your autistic hissy fits. Carry on with your autistic screeching, because it's a lot funnier from my perspective. If that's all you've got, it's quite pathetic at this point. Get your BrainForce right now. BrainForce Plus, personally recommended by me at InfoWarsStore.com.
And now get BrainForce Plus at 50% off for a limited time at InfoWarsStore.com.